All right, so again, welcome to apexinvesting.com. Get a free trial, get access to everything, get access to $50,000 in funding. If you pass a simple funding exam, get access to auto traders, get access to rooms, trade rooms, charts, all sorts of stuff. Check us out at apexinvesting.com. Obviously, there's risk involved in trading, okay? If you watch this webinar, I'm assuming you watched last Tuesday's webinar because I'm not going to go over the settings again, okay? We're just going to do chart review. All right, now let's get into some charts. Let's get some good stuff. Okay, so where did my charts go? I was dragging them all around earlier. All right, so I want to teach y'all a couple of the ways that I made some of these. Like tonight, I made $11,000. Would y'all like to know a couple things I looked at to help me do that? Would you like to know a little trick? And I talked about it in the room today. And I talked about it in the room tonight. Talked about it in the room today. Paul doesn't want to know. Okay. So let's look at this. And I'm going to put on, this thing annoys the crap out of me, but it's the best way to do it. Where is it at? Global crosshair. There we go. Now, I'm not saying that you need to have NQ open. You can use NQ inside the room. Okay? So the market was coming down. A little pullback. Where are we at now? I'm on the right side is ES, on the left side is NQ. Okay? What do you see on the left side? Where I'm at right now? What level do you see on the left side? You see an NQ wall. Those blue or red or whatever lines that draw all the way to the side. So I want you to look at this thing right here, this wall right here, okay? I get a setup to go short off of that wall. I like that trade. Okay? I use the NASDAQ and the S&P are in lock sync. Okay? And like when one's up 0.7, the other one's up 0.7. All right? It was right under the wall where we actually ended up getting in. So right there. It was underneath the wall when it broke. So it's not on top of it. It was underneath it that our entry was. And so I look at NQ walls to help me find the best trades. So what I have found, because we've had NQ walls for years. We've had ES walls for months. Okay, and some of these walls are literally years old. And they're still valid today. Okay? That when the NQ responds, the ES will respond to that same area. So I get that short. And let me zoom this out a little bit. And then I have this level marked from my 6240 charts or whatever it was today, 76.16.50. And I already said it's going to go down to 76.17 is what I said. And I said, and then when it does, ES is going to hit the paw print. Yes, I'm saying the NQ walls lead the ES. So if you get a setup on ES coming off of an NQ wall to go short, that helps me clarify, like a lot of my trades are good because of that. And I literally, I mean, look at these two came together at the same time. That paw print came together the same as that 62.40 line. It does often move before ES, which means it's leading. And it usually moves about 3 times as far as ES, hence the moving before. So that was it could be a short or a long. This was a short because we had a short X box. What else did we have on this trade right here? What do you see about this trade that makes it a good trade? We got a whole stack of mini magnets. It's an ETX. We got OD divergence. We got a low volume score, star 10. We got DR divergence. The thing had everything. Plus it lined up with an NQ wall. And I literally said, let's trail this trade. And y'all don't hear me say that too. I mean, you know I trail a lot of trades. But I actually called out, let's trail this trade. On the low volume score, you want less than 13. Ideally, you want a low volume score of 13 to minus 13, right? A star and for a setup 4, and you also want a ZOI. But we had a lot of things going for us on this trade. All right, and it came right down, I mean, literally to the tick. Yep, got a third bar swing as well with a mini magnet laid right on it. I mean, it was just like one thing after another lining up. And as it moved down, I moved my stop behind the mini magnet. And then I moved my stop behind the ES wall. And then I moved my stop behind the green ice wall. Then I moved my stop to here. And then I set half my take profits down here right at the target. And had my other half sitting right up here. Now we go over and look at this. Do you see a pattern? What just happened on this short? There's a wall. So it's bouncing off the wall and we get another short. Now that doesn't follow your regular sniper rules, does it? Because it's a naked Xbox. But notice how it's bouncing off an ES wall and an NQ wall. So do you take the trade? Bouncing off a wall. Both walls. Yes. Okay, this is next level training, okay? So literally showing you, boom, and there it goes. Trade is profitable. Right back down to our paw line. Do y'all think that might help you? Do you think that might have helped you today? If you had a hard time looking for trades that lined up with walls? We got one right here. It doesn't line up with a wall. Does happen to work out, but it didn't line up with a wall. Right? So I'm going to stick to the regular sniper rules and not take that trade. We got a long here, but what just happened? We're way off the wall. Okay? So ideally we want them where they're bouncing off the walls, literally. So you can, of course, still take your regular sniper trades, your regular ETX trades. I'm just trying to show you some stuff that you can use to take it to another level. Y'all want to scroll back and look back at today a little bit? A lot of the stuff I called out today, I was looking at walls, and I said it. Like, I didn't keep it back. It wasn't a secret. I was like, look at this. It's coming off this wall. Look at this. It's coming off this wall. And the best trades we had today came off walls. let's look for, now we're still looking for a setup. We're not just trading it because it's on a wall, okay? So we still need a setup. That one was not on a wall. What would you say that one was? What would you call this area right here? Looking at NQ. I'm just saying if we just backed up a little bit. What is that on NQ? One, we have coil chop. Very good. Does it also look like we were like in the middle of a range looking area on NQ? Yeah, we got coil chop. Don't take the trade, right? That was the big, I think, takeaway from a lot of you from last week. Now, you shouldn't take that trade anyway because it was against DR. It was a naked Xbox without DR confirming. But coil chop, middle of a range. Okay, so right here, we're just now coming off these walls. Now remember, it's going to move faster. Right? But did we come off the wall? And that's why I want to really point this out to you. Right here, were we coming off of the wall? Or were we way far away from the wall? Now you have to factor in coil chop yourself. Way far away from the wall. Now DR didn't line up either, right? And we're in some pre-market hours here. Okay. Here's another bonus for you. What are we in right now? We're in shop. Do you notice anything unique about this bar? What does it have on it? It's got a cluster on it. It's got an Xbox. It's got a mini magnet. Do you think that might actually be enough to bust it out of chop? Yes. When you see a cluster on the bar before that bar with a TX with a mini magnet, that often is going to be what's going to bust you out of coil chop. Ideally, it's on the bar before that. The cluster is. But if you give me a cluster bar with a mini magnet and with a TX coming off of a paw, yeah. I'm still taking it. It's an ETX trade. I'm not worried about obstacles. So I taught you don't trade coil chop. Now I'm letting you know when it actually will bust out. Well, it actually hit that wall at the exact same time that it took profit. So I'm showing you an example. Remember, Randy, I'm taking you to another level on this webinar. Do y'all feel like you need a little extra help in these current market conditions? So what I want you to do is give you some homework, okay? I want you to go back and not just take my word for it. I want you to go back and I want you to find coil chop that has cluster on the bar before or that bar and has a TX and a mini magnet and see what happens. See how often it breaks out of coil chop on that. And either it's a great idea or it's not, but it won't be hard for you to find out, right? I do not want you to go do this until you've went back and looked at it yourself. Don't have to have a paw. A mini magnet, it's just fine. Alan, you said you sent me a Skype. So Alan went and did some homework today. And he put on here, here are 3 examples. The specific setup worked every time. The cluster, the final bar before the reversal, the TX, the next bar the other way, not as high as a percentage if both on the same bar. I frequently clear my data. Next week I get 2 weeks of actual OP. Yeah, you can get OP from me. So see, now that wouldn't quite coil chop though. So the biggest thing I want you to do is I want you to find coil chop. So it's a good job on the homework. Go back. I want you to do homework finding coil chop. Whether it's a breakup or breakdown, but I want you to do the homework. Don't just do the trade. If you'll do the homework, then you'll have the trade mastered. Okay? But if you just trust me without doing any homework, you're not going to, this is not a good idea. Okay? Now, we're looking at this trade. It's a long. It's off of an ES wall. Okay? And we're coming up and we're breaking through, bouncing right off of an NQ wall. Can we take that trade? Even though it's against the DR, can we take it? Based on what I'm telling you, by looking at the walls. Made money. All right, we've already had 3 trades before the market opens. Your day is done. You like that? I prefer it to be a mini magnet. And this is a day that a lot of y'all had a hard time. Now this one is a short, it's a naked, it's going right into both walls. Is that a trade you probably want to take? And is there maybe another reason why you don't want to take it? Double clusters. Got 2 of those yellow things within 3 bars, don't take the trade. It might work, but it ain't worth it. So we're going into the wall, and we had double clusters. All right, we're coming off a settlement, and we're coming off a dynamic magnet. Are we coming off a wall? No, we are not coming off a wall. But you are going into a wall. Very good. Do you really want to take a trade right into a wall? If you mean what's the orange line? The orange line is a dynamic magnet drawn from the 10-minute chart. Yeah, look at that. Aren't we glad we didn't trade right into a wall? So if it's going into an NQ wall or even an ES wall, there's an ES wall right here also. All right, now we got a short with DR. Okay. What's happening on the NQ side? It's an enhanced TX. Kevin, if you watch the videos in steps 1 through 8, one of the sections will say understanding the charts, and that'll detail what all the symbols mean. Are we coming into an NQ wall? Do you want to take a trade into an NQ wall? Remember, NQ ES will only move a third of what NQ moves. You think about it, 7,000, 2,000, right? It worked. Is it okay that we missed out on a trade? Is it okay to miss good trades for good reasons? Yeah. All right, now we're coming off of a wall. We have massive divergence. %25. Didn't work out. Is that going to happen? Is that okay? Do you pout about it? And do you try to figure out what went wrong with that one trade? Or do you move on to the next trade? Move on, dust it off. Next trade. You're going to miss out on the money if you worry about it. Okay? Okay, we don't really have a wall or anything going on right here. Pretty much at the exact same level. We got an ETX trade. So we're going to take it. Some are saying yes, some are saying no, some are saying why. We got a double cluster. Turn on those double cluster alerts. Send her big volume clusters. May work, but ain't worth it. Okay? Okay, we got a naked ETX, but coming off of an ES wall. Okay, is that going to happen? And I want to show you some of the ouches. I don't want it to all be like, you know, la perfect. But I want you to see something right here. Do you notice anything? Well, one. Let's measure it. Oh, stop. Low of 24.31. Low of 24.29. We got our 7 ticks. It was not an ouch. It hit and made profit. Okay, so we actually made our money on that trade. And a lot of you are like, oh my gosh. We're not in coil chop. All right, so it actually hit and it took profit. The second it hits that price, be ready to hit that close button. Now here is what can be difficult. You just went in, you either just took profit or you hit close real quick to get out of the trade, and you got to set up long. Whose take profit is going to be before the wall. Okay? There actually is something you can do if you want to go really fast. Or if you're late to hit close. And you can hit the reverse button, which will automatically close your short and open a long. You would just go, bank, and it's like, other way. So you're like, oh crap, I should have got out of that trade. It hit up, bam. And now, you just made another profit. So we've actually only lost one so far, because that one right there, won. And the next one, won. Now we got a short coming off of an ES wall. And we got OD divergence. Are we taking it? There we go. Made profit. Now we got another short, but going into a wall. And no divergence. Do we take it? Nope, and it's okay. Okay, now we're getting into the open period where we can actually trade. Okay, so we did some pre-market, we did some nighttime, right? You couldn't have traded it because we were in the, I guess 935 is right there. Be patient. Also, a lot of y'all are really caught up on triple dippers. I would not get caught up in triple dippers. Focus on your ETX and your TX trades. All right. So we got a short here. Coming off a dynamic magnet level. Got room between it and ES's settlement. Do we take it? Yeah, I would take it. Because I got room to... ES, the settlement is going to pull it to it. It's the strongest level out there. Okay? So I got room between that and settlement, and I get a short right before it. I expect it to go down to settlement. I don't know what kind of crazy crap's going to happen after that, but I expect it to get there. All right, now we got a long. We're on a wall. It's above settlement. It just pulled down to settlement. We have a very, very strong downtrend. Would you agree that we have a strong downtrend that we're involved in right now? Do you want to go against a strong downtrend? We also have two levels in our way, which, I mean, is too many for a naked Xbox. So we're not going to trade it against a strong downtrend. Even if it was an ETX. When it's a strong downtrend, don't do it. Everything I say goes for up and down. Some of y'all are saying, what about up? What about down? It goes the same way. Yeah, don't go against the trend when it's strong. All right, we got a long. It's a buy right above settlement. It's a buy right above the NQ wall. It's a naked Xbox. It's against DR. No ETX. It's not coming off of a wall. It's going through a wall. That might have made the 7 ticks. I don't know. I'm glad I didn't take it. Now we got another long. Would literally have to hit settlement. But settlement is a strong number. It's an ETX trade. It's also bouncing off. Check out this range. Look on both sides. We got this range right here. Market bouncing off. Look at NQ, how it's bouncing off that wall right there. It's going to pull back up to settlement. There it goes. All right, now we got one that's coming off of settlement on both sides. We got green DR. It's an ETX. Take it? Yeah, I would take it. There we go. And they got pulled up to that magnet. Okay. We got a long. It's above settlement on NQ. It's going into settlement on ES. It's a naked X box going against DR. There's no OD. Pass, pass, pass. No trade, no trade. Good. It worked, but it wasn't worth it. All right, we got a short. And look at what's happening on the wall side over here. We're getting a short coming under the walls. Double walls. I like that. It's coming down. It's bouncing off of those walls. It's already broke through two of them. It's under the NQ walls. It's one of the trades I called out today in the room. So this would be applying the walls training I'm teaching you today. Okay? Using the walls to help you determine those trades that give you an edge by using those NQ walls. Now we get a long DR. Okay? Now let's flip it. Look at what's happening on the NQ chart. Now, does everything else tell you on the ES chart to take the trade? But the NQ walls tell you don't take the trade, don't they? It made it, but was it worth it? Because I bet a few of y'all got hit by those double walls today. Didn't you? Now we got a short right off of an ES wall with a big OD. Boom. Where do you think we're probably going? We're going all the way down to the NQ walls on that big OD. Oh, there's a trail trade. There's where you just got 1, 2, 3, 4. You just made twice the amount of money in the same trade. Unless you're doing Lilu. So I just pulled it right to that wall. If you'll stick with it, then you'll get the trail after you make double your profit in your live account. Now we got a short coming off the wall. It's naked, short off the wall, and it worked. Look at that. You wouldn't have taken that trade otherwise, would you? Anybody pissed yet that they lost money today? After watching this? You're like, I mean, how many trades have we had? Like 6 or something? Since the market open section? glad you're on this webinar tonight. Good. All right, I'll go a little bit longer, okay? And then we'll wrap it up. Y'all feel like y'all got some good lessons? Was it worth it? All right, we got a short. It's not naked. There's no wall. Obviously, we're not taking it, right? We got a long. It's with DR. It's a strong trend. You gonna take it? No! No, 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 no. Coil chop. There is coil chop. Up, down, up. You see it? Do you have an Xbox with the cluster with the magnet on it? Don't take it. We got a short. We don't really have anything to go short off of. We don't have any divergence. Thing's probably going to fly down, but didn't have a good reason to take the trade. We got a short. We got no DR. We got no OD. It's a naked Xbox. There's no walls. What do we do? Pass. We got a long. No walls in our way. I mean, it looks like a pretty solid trade. Didn't work. Is that okay? What's confusing about the coil chop definition? It means when there's up, down, up. Or down, up, down. 3 bars in a row, going in alternating directions. You don't get into one when it's coil chop. I'm looking at coil chop. That is another interesting lesson. We got to line them right up. You don't have coil chop on either one. Sometimes you do know after you're in. Okay, you said you don't know till after you're in. Let's go back. On that long, you had up, you had down, and you had up before you got in. If that bar closes up, it's going to be coil chop. So don't you know before you got in? All right. Now, if it happens when you get in, then get at, and it happens to happen in the right order, then use that to get out. And I don't say 2-bar pullback because I may be going in the opposite direction. Just look for coil chop. Now this time you didn't know, so got stuck with it. It's pulling back on you again like that. Ew. Now I've taught you this in previous mastering videos. If there is a level that is close to your take profit, what should you do? Like if it's like within 2 ticks of your take profit, just take profit at it. Or a tick before it. Okay? So you can take this trade, just take your profit like right before the mini magnet. because you know there's a good chance it might bounce off of it. So who cares about the extra tick or two? Does that make sense? And this is in mastery videos. That's not new. We got any reason to take that short? See, we're at the NQ wall. And you see how strong the NQ walls are? Now we're at the NQ wall. All right, we got a long right here. Going right into an ES wall. Going into an NQ wall. And what else do we have going on? There you go. Some of y'all are getting it. We got coil chop, and you know before it happened, right? May have worked. Was it worth it? From all the coil chops you've seen. Now, if you would have given me a cluster on the bar before that or that bar, I would have taken it. But notice we did have the X box with the mini magnet. I just want you to notice we did have an X box with the mini magnet, and look what happened. Just remember your homework. Okay, so can y'all put that stuff into practice? Yeah, the red and green arrows are from the automation tool. Why stop at 3 wins? Because I found that's a high probability win rate. And if you do it, you can make 6 figures, $250,000 a year, just doing working up to 7 contracts over like 8 months. The more trades you work to stop at, the lower your probability of stopping profitably. That's why. So y'all can either pull up an NQ chart. I mean, you could literally just load like a day. All it needs is the NQ walls, okay? Or you could load. You don't have to load anything. You can go in here and you can go to the room. Grab the room up, then put like ES on top of it. And you could be watching. Right? You don't even have to have the walls up. You could literally just have the chart up from the room and then put your ES chart on top of it. When things go back to normal, we'll probably be going back to NQ. Yes. When we go back to NQ, well, then we're trading NQ and we got the walls anyway, right? From example in coil, were you talking about using the reverse button? Is that a good practice if caught in coil or just close it? The only reason I have to have the reverse button is because we had a long trade that we could get out of that trade because we realized, oh crap, we just had coil chop and we have a long trade at the exact same time. And so you could use that, you could reverse out. Besides the ES and NQ, can you trade another market, CL, bonds? Yeah, you can trade whatever you want. So I have oil up all day. Trade gold. Trade, the 6s, the FX contracts. 30-year, 10-year, monthly, whatever. The automation is not part of the trial. We don't own the software. I buy it in bulk and I pass on the savings to you. You can't load NQ walls and ES walls in the same chart because, well, they're, 5,000 points apart. You wouldn't be able to see them. Submit your homework inside your mentor rooms. Oh yeah, you don't got to do the whole crosshair bar for bar because that'll drive you nuts. So I just did it to make the charts line up. So yeah, you don't have to put it on global crosshairs. In fact, I'm going to take it off because otherwise I'll be like, ah. I was just doing that for the chart review. I don't trade silver, so I don't know what settings you'd use on that. You'd have to figure it out. Gold, I use 6 tick. And the formula for stop loss is 2 times the tick size plus 1, and take profit is the bar size minus 1. See, I noticed you were referring to oil with an NQ trade today. Are there other markets you watch along with NQ, or is that just because oil was the mover today? Oil has been such a big mover of the markets that I've been watching oil with my to lead NQ, because if oil goes up, NASDAQ is probably going up. If oil goes now, it goes up slightly. Like it may go up like 10 cents and NASDAQ goes up like 10 points. Okay. But if oil's heading up, NASDAQ's heading up. If oil's starting to head down, NASDAQ's going to start heading down. So like right now we're at an NQ wall, right? I'm starting to see oil pull back with an Xbox. If I got a short Xbox on ES right now, I would take the trade short. Right now. Like, not now, but at 24.93.75. Because we're coming off of an NQ. This is live. Okay, live charts. Let's see, we got oil over here. It's got an Xbox. Like they started trying to push short. We're coming off of an NQ wall. And oil sort of driving the market a little bit. So if it pushes down, it's going to push down NQ. NQ leads. ES follows. 24.93.75. We'll take profit 24.92. At this time of night, that could happen in 2 minutes, or it could take like an hour. You submit your 90-day challenge. Yes, this is a good reminder. Submit your 90-day challenge homework for the free platinum or the 2 days live with me contest by tomorrow in the help desk. Attach it in the help desk. We've only got like half a dozen of them submitted so far, so your odds of winning are really good. You would have to ask me about ZB tomorrow, because I would have to pull it up and look at it. But if you hop in the Elite Room tomorrow, I'll open ZB up and we can figure it out together. Sound good, Lionel? So I wouldn't take the short at 22.05.40. That's a coil trade. No. Down, up, down. What about the long down here? Well, let me turn on my crosshairs again. And then last question. I'm going to wrap it up because we're going late. What time is that? 22, 21, 58, 22, 21. Yeah, it's coming off the dev level. I would take that. You're bouncing right off your 0.25 dev, pulling up to a wall. And walls are like big magnets. Let's see, I'm going to wrap up anything else. Well, because you can't mark 75.85 on your ES chart. Because you're at 2,500. And it'll hit the walls at different times. It's not exact at the same time. Let's see here. Yeah, you need at least 30 days on your 90-day challenge to submit it. here. I just started the 9-day challenge today. Okay, well, we're going to have another challenge. We're going to have another drawing in 90 days. So keep doing it, okay? OD will keep drawing that trend until it has no longer made new highs. That's why you can't trade just OD. Instead of losing, can you load NQ walls and ES walls on it? Okay, you cannot load the NQ walls on ES. They're 5,000 points difference. I don't know how else to explain that. Well, you got a 75.85. How are you going to see that while you're down here at 2,500? Okay, everybody should get that. Yes, see, I have the filter on my auto assist. I turn it off whenever there is divergence or another reason for me to not take it. Yep, I like him, Randy. Let's see here. Is ES trying to bounce now and NQ already move off of its wall? It's moved off. It's coming back up. It can move off again. So it's still valid. All right. So, did y'all get a what out tonight? Sweet. Do y'all want to do another walkthrough next week? Y'all want to keep doing these? Are y'all getting a lot out of them? Better than just a whole bunch of PowerPoints? Okay, are y'all going to take advantage of the opportunity and dive in and watch your videos and rewatch these webinars and be engaged in the room? All right, y'all going to challenge each other to do that inside your mentor rooms. Challenge people to get in the room and be inquisitive. All right, reminder, tomorrow is NFP. We had massive job loss reportings this last, like 3 times what we had last week. It's going to be bad. I don't know how priced in it is, but the market was basically up today. So I would assume that they drove it up to drive it back down. Just be aware, it's probably going to explode when the NFP number comes out in the morning. Okay? Use all this bad news to drive you to become a great trader, because you've never had a better time or a better opportunity where you get to stay at home, have nothing else to do, literally can't go anywhere, and you can rock it, okay? And we're here to help you do that. All right, y'all have a fantastic evening, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the trade room tomorrow morning. Good night.